Hello guys, it's me, Greed here. I'm making this video because something annoyed me, which is usually why I make a video, but this annoyed me to the point where I was so flabbergasted by the gall of them to do it that I was like, what? Because I thought a lot of people were arguing in good faith when they were making fun of Overwatch. They were saying the right things. They were saying, you know what, Moira is bullshit for these reasons and that reasons. I'm like, yeah, that's true. I agree. Genji's good design for these reasons and that reasons. I'm like, yeah, that's true. I agree. And then those same players are waiting for Marvel Rivals and they love Marvel Rivals and good for them. But then Rivals comes around and we're playing it, and I've played a lot of it now. And a lot of people are completely blind to the fact that that game is also full of a lot of similar bullshit as the Overwatch. Now, it's not to the same degree as Overwatch, absolutely not. However, the same people that were like, yeah, Widowmaker and such is bullshit in Overwatch, and like, these support characters are so OP in Overwatch, and like, oh, this character's dumb in Overwatch, they are then silent when they go to Rivals and they play against the borderline same dog shit. Whoa, I just don't get it. One-shots are a problem in Overwatch. Whether they're also kind of a problem in Rivals. Burst damage is a big problem in Overwatch. That's also a problem in Rivals. And then other people are like, yeah, the sustain in Overwatch is so bad, there's so much healing, I can't kill anything. Motherfucker, it's the same in Rivals. It's the same. I'm not here to make this video to argue that Overwatch or Rivals are better, because I don't care. I play whatever game I prefer playing. I have a deep passion and a deep love for Overwatch. I've played it for a very long time. I have thousands of hours on the game. I love it. Marvel Rivals came out. I really enjoyed playing that. I thoroughly enjoyed the casual mode for it. It was great. I played competitive and said, yeah, this might be the least competitive game I've literally ever played in my entire life. And now, don't get me wrong. This video is not Overwatch is better or Rivals is better, because that's entirely subjective and entirely based on which one you prefer. The point of this video is to go over the fact that there is a large double standard, and it's embarrassing. Like, if you're gonna bitch and complain that something is dumb in Overwatch, why do you not give the same treatment to Rivals when that same thing is dumb? Do you know what I mean? Like, I met so many people that had played Overwatch and were giving me their opinion about Rivals, and I was like, yeah, well, in Rivals, I don't really like how much sustain there is. It feels like there's a bit too much healing, which is a bit similar to Overwatch, and I also wasn't a huge fan of, like, Hela and Hawkeye. It just did too much damage, and the supports just seemed kind of OP, and some of the tanks just felt like kind of OP, and it just kind of felt like, not like Overwatch, it didn't feel like Overwatch, but it had a lot of the same problems. And then those people that were complaining about that shit in Overwatch are just silent about it in Rivals. Like, nah, I disagree. I don't think it's like that. I'm like, well then, what is it like? It's the same. Half the support cast is brain dead baby mode, and it takes no skill at all, and is disgustingly overpowered. There are DPS in the game that just straight up vanish you from existence if you peek them and they click on you. And there are tank heroes in the game that are literally just press button get value. It's the same fucking thing. It's literally the same. But people don't talk about it in Rivals because Rivals is the new game and I'm supposed to hate Overwatch. Therefore, I'm gonna complain about Overwatch and say Rivals is so much better. Even though that's not the argument. I'm not here to say Rivals or Overwatch is a better game. I'm here to say that I love Overwatch, it's balanced like dog shit, and I enjoy Rivals, and it's balanced like dog shit. It's not a competition of which one's superior. Both of them have their problems, and yet people are blind to one game's problems because they have a bias. Listen, don't get me wrong, I'm all up, I completely understand the honeymoon phase part of it, I get it, game just came out, you're playing it, those things aren't annoying you as much because you're enjoying it a bit more, you're having a bit more fun, I get it, but I still don't understand the thought process behind it. It's a problem in Overwatch, but not a problem in Rivals. The double standard is ridiculous. It's okay if you want to say it's not that annoying in Rivals, but then you would also have to agree that it's not that annoying in Overwatch either. But yet these people don't do that. They say, yeah, this thing's annoying in Overwatch, I despise Overwatch because of this thing, and then they experience that thing in Rivals and go, it's actually not that bad, or they just don't talk about it. I'm like, isn't that kind of arguing in bad faith? Aren't you like kind of showing bias? No, I get it. People are biased. I completely understand. I'm not saying you're a bad person if you're biased or something stupid like that. But it is just one of those things to talk about, because it feels weird having spoken to people about Overwatch that complained about it in a certain way that then they don't complain about the same thing in Rivals. I'm like, it's the same problem. Why aren't you complaining? Now, maybe you're not getting as annoyed in Rivals, sure, but why are you then silent about it? Like, take the CC spam, for example. Mantis and Luna. I put under one of my videos, I commented saying Marvel Rivals sucks, by the way. Which, by the way, I still fully agree with. Overwatch also sucks. They're both bad. But I had said, Marvel Rivals sucks. Everyone was in my comment section like, no, you're just bad. You're dumb. You're bad at the game. You're stupid. Or whatever the fuck you were talking about. I have like a 98% win rate. I've lost like 2 games literally ever. You know what I mean? This was not a case of me being bad or a case of I lost or whatever and then I complained about it. I complained about it because it's bullshit, not because I lost or it beat me or something silly like that. Like, no one is capable of having an argument in good faith. They just assume that if I'm complaining about something, it's because it beat me, which is so silly. It's so difficult to have a conversation with people when 90% of the shit they say is, oh, you just lost to that character, that's why you think it's bullshit. No, I think it's bullshit because it's bullshit. If I was playing Genji and Genji was disgustingly overpowered like he was in 2020, then yeah, I call it out and say, yeah, that character's bullshit. He was overpowered. I agree. I don't care that I'm biased and I play the character. I'm not gonna lie. The hero is still cancer, regardless. You know what I'm saying? So when people get CC spammed in Overwatch and like, dude, this game's horrible for this, and then they queue up for a game of Rivals and they get Winter Soldier pulled, and then Mantis slept, and then Luna snow blocked, or whatever the fuck it's called, iced, and then they're pulled in, and then they get like Magneto stunned, and then they're Groot, and they can't play the game for 25 years. Where is the complaining there? Where is the incessant, non-stop mauling that happens there? And it made me realize that not a lot of people, when they complain about things on Overwatch, are actually complaining because they dislike that specific thing and want Overwatch to get better. They're complaining because they actually don't like Overwatch. There are so many people that complain about this game so incessantly and yet do not express the same hatred towards the same things on another game because that other game is like beating Overwatch and they think they need to be like choose a side, like they're fighting a rebellion or like they're like guerrilla warfighters or something strange like that. It's just really strange to me because you can have a preference. No one's saying you can't have a preference. Surely if you wanted your game to succeed and do the best it could, you would say, yeah, this part of the game sucks. It's not like if you say that, all the Overwatch players like get a win or a point or something. We're not taking scores here. If something's lame, it's lame and should be addressed. Not, oh, well, I shouldn't bring it up because that makes Overwatch look better. It's so stupid. It doesn't make sense. And the same thing happens on the fucking Overwatch side too. It's not just the Rivals players that are doing it. It's the Overwatch players too. The Overwatch players will play Rivals and then complain about something incessantly in Rivals and then come back to Overwatch and experience the same thing and then not complain about that to the same degree they complain about it in Rivals. Because a lot of people are not arguing in good faith. They're arguing for a point system where they want one game to win over the other game, which is just so incredibly stupid. Why is it that one game has to be better than the other? Can't both games exist? Can't there be a world where both games are good? Basically, the point I'm making is that if you are an Overwatch player or a Rivals player, whatever it may be, I think consistency is required. You cannot say that this thing sucks in Overwatch, experience it in Rivals, and not say, yeah, this sucks in Rivals too. And the same goes for the Overwatch crowd. You cannot go and play Rivals and complain about something in Rivals, and then come back to Overwatch, experience that same thing in Overwatch, and then not also complain about it to the same degree. If it's lame, it is lame. It doesn't matter what game it's on, it doesn't matter who's doing it, doesn't matter what character's doing it. If something is unbalanced, broken, unfun, whatever it may be, it needs to be addressed, it needs to be criticized, and it needs to be spoken about. But there are so many people that are too concerned about one game winning over the other game that they're unwilling to actually see the flaws of the game and criticize them to try and fix them. And it's going to put both games in the hole when it becomes a shouting match of which game is better, when the which game is better has no bearing on whether or not the games get better. It just means that whichever one has more of a player base at the one time is just going to outshout the other one, and then it doesn't even become about either game getting better anymore. It becomes entirely about which game looks better to the general public. And it's so silly, because surely if you are a player of one game, then surely you would want your game to get better. Is that not normal? But that seems to be abnormal, because well, that's what people are doing. They're getting CC spammed in Rivals and then going, yeah, this shit sucks, and then getting CC spammed in Overwatch and going, yeah, this doesn't suck. And the same that goes around. Like, they're getting one shot in Overwatch and they're going, yeah, this shit sucks, and then they're getting one shot in Rivals and going, yeah, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying everyone's doing that, but enough people are doing it to the point where it's genuinely annoying. Just be consistent. It's okay. If there's something bad about your game, you should criticize it. It doesn't matter. It's not about a point scoring system. It's not about which game is better, because nobody gives a shit, dude. Nobody cares. At least be consistent. Because when I bitch about Overwatch, it has nothing to do with the fact that I think one game is better than the other, or I think one hero is better than another, and another hero should win, whatever. I complain because the thing I am complaining about is inherently unbalanced, unfun, bullshit, bad for the game, bad for the community, whatever it may be. I am arguing purely from the standpoint of I want that thing to improve. But a lot of people are not arguing on that front. They're arguing purely to try and win. And I think that's silly. Anyway, I love you all. I hope you have a good day. Mwah. I'll see you guys later. Mwah. Bye-bye. 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 Bye.